This is a Glass Box Media podcast.
While they're fun to watch, so much of it seems like so unnecessary. Just pouring things into other things, you know, like I'm just like, this seems so unnecessary. However, we have like built-in shelves now, like built-in cabinets that we're using for our pantry. And I'm like, I do think I need at least some like big bins, like to like compartmentalize, separate out, like
you guys are speaking my love language.
Some of the stuff, because otherwise
so
it just
turned on right now.
Looks like you've thrown a bunch of shit into a closet, and I'm like, I don't want that. I want to see.
I'm like Marie Kondo. I love that kind of mess. If you allow me to clean it, I'm like, please let me organize that for you.
Well, and even still, like I came in and I told Cassie, I'm like, my back is tweaked today, and she's like, and I was like,
she said me and Eric, and I was like, oh.
No. And I was like, well, no, it's from redoing the closet. I was like, actually though, I'm to the age where that is just as satisfying as throwing my back out doing other activities.
How old are you?
I'm old enough that I literally fell asleep last night thinking about how clean the closet was. And I was like,
satisfying. I know, dude. I know.
Wow. Are we recording?
Yeah.
Amazing. Hey everybody. Welcome to My Worst Date. I'm Cassie.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Christina.
Already messing this up.
Hey, that's okay. So this is officially like our July.
Yes.
It's our anniversary.
Yeah.
Hey.
It is.
3 years. Wow. And no shortage of bad dates. They still come.
No, they're coming in strong and hot. In fact, yesterday I went to a party type thing, and I was talking to people about the podcast, and the minute you tell people what you have a podcast that's all about bad dates, people come out of the woodwork to tell you they're bad dates.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, did you get something spicy?
I mean, I got some decent ones. Not ones I was like, hey, write in like a full story, but like there was one where she went on a date with a guy, and like they went to his place first pre-date, and like we're making out, and like while they were making out, he like stopped and was just like, I just came in his pants, in his pants. And then just like casually was like, hey, let's go to dinner now.
No.
Would you like to change your pants?
Yeah, or just gonna go like sticky icky to dinner.
No, come on.
And so then they get back after the date, and like she goes back to his apartment, and he just goes to sleep. He just like takes a nap, like lays down on the couch and is like, good night.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Well,
bye.
Just always things like that.
Amazing.
Well, I actually came across an article that was in the Guardian that says, we've come to expect being treated badly on dating apps. And I was like, in other words, water is wet. But it's a really interesting article just about how, and I think it struck me because we just had that conversation about trolling online and stuff, and just how people speak online because it's that little bit of anonymity, and that they wouldn't be like that if they were face to face with people. Well, the same thing happens when you're on any of the apps, and shocking news is that it's more than likely women, even though men get a lot of nasty treatment online too.
Right.
But they're finding shockingly that women
I can't believe
get
that.
a ton of abuse on
No way.
online dating apps. What?
I don't believe you. It sounds like a lie.
Yeah. And it's like, it's everything from that offensive language, disrespectful name calling, ghosting, having others offload their frustration on you, all commonplace on the dating apps. And sadly, many users have come to expect and even accept such treatment as part of the course when looking for love online.
Wow.
So, well, I mean, it is if you're looking for love online. I think if you're doing it that way, you do have to accept that that is part of what's going to happen. Like that's part of what's going to happen if you interact online, period. Like if you're interacting with people online, you have to accept that you're going to get a certain percentage of shitty stuff.
Just terrible human beings. Yeah.
The only way to avoid it is to not get online.
Or the other thing that they were saying is that like it is like lowering our standards.
Sure.
That we're like, oh, this is part of being online dating, and we're allowing that kind of thing. So the one thing that I struggled with was maintaining the same standards, boundaries, and everything like that I would have for real life. How I want to be talked to, how I want to be treated.
Yeah.
Like if I don't want somebody showing me their dick within the first 5 minutes of us meeting in real life, I certainly don't want it online either.
Yeah.
So just like maintaining those standards and stuff, if we can all get together and say like, I don't want to be talked to this way, like this is over as soon as somebody like immediately crosses that line. If we can maintain our in-person boundaries online, then maybe that would lead to a change in behavior at some point.
I would hope so, but unfortunately, I just think that the rise of the internet, like, and being online the way that we are online now, which is constantly, you know, and having like all of that stuff coming at us constantly, I think it's more likely that it's just going to change the way we interact, like as a society.
Ugh, I hope
wholly. Not. I mean, how can it not?
Yeah.
You know, I just think it has to, because I think on a large scale, people just aren't going to have the energy to be. And first of all, as we've learned on this podcast, a lot of people aren't self-reflective, period. Or introspective at all.
Right.
And then there's a small percentage of us who are very introspective and think about these things a lot and set, you know, boundaries and like all of that stuff. But even for those of us who do that, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is.
Constantly be having to do that. So I imagine that, and this is just maybe me just being kind of like cynical and pessimistic, the internet's going to wear us down. And it's just going to change the bar, unfortunately. Like it's going to change the like, that's a scary and sad thing to say, but, and try not to let that happen. But, you know,
Oh
I wonder what it's going to be like in, you know, 40 years when everybody who's an adult almost has grown up almost entirely online. And, you know, what's that going to do to our society? What's it going to look like? It'll be different.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Keegan coming in hot with the
apocalypse.
Sorry.
God,
Listen, it's been a rough week, okay?
Moving, period.
Yeah, I know. I'm cramping right now. I'm just tired, all right?
She's like, fuck online.
Fuck everything. No, but it is something that I've been thinking about, because I'm just like, maybe I was reading an article about how a lot of YouTubers and people who became famous in like when they were very young, because it was, you know, they were touching on Bo Burnham and Jenna Marbles and Shane Dawson, who all started YouTube channels in like 2005 when they were in their early teens, you know, and blew up very quickly, and then have had like their whole lives like online, and how to varying degrees they've all had to pull back. Like Jenna Marbles is completely gone. Like she's wiped like all of her social media. She's not on YouTube anymore. And all of that, because being on the internet all the time,
it's exhausting.
Can do like really fucked up shit to your mental health, you know? So having to analyze that, and it got me thinking, like, will I ever want to do that?
Yeah.
Or not even that I don't want to. Will I ever be able to do that?
Yeah.
This seems like a good time to announce that we're going to be doing video podcasts.
Oh,
no, just kidding.
No, but I want to, because I think that I enjoy watching things online. Like I love YouTube. I enjoy content creators. I love it. I was
I'm
on
obsessed
TikTok.
with TikTok.
I was
think
scrolling.
it's hilarious.
I spent like 2 hours scrolling on TikTok the other day. I love all that shit.
Do I want to create
but
it?
now that it's my literal job as a senior content creator, like I just feel like it's like I have like a team of people who help me do it.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
So much that goes into it. It's wild. And I have a team of people who help me. Like it's not like I just get to have to do everything myself, the editing, the filming, all that. Like I can't imagine having to do all that shit myself.
Well, it's
like,
a real
crazy.
job. It's like, that's why when people talk down to people who do YouTube full time or whatever, it's like
full-time job
for a lot of people. If you're putting out high quality content, like I've been watching Jamie French, who does like video. Well, she's made a lot of viral content, but she also does like movies and like does her makeup. But she also does this thing where she will cut herself into scenes like with green screen.
Yeah.
Which is really, really cool. But all I can think when I'm watching it is how long it took her to edit these videos.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just watching it being like,
for like 20 minutes of content or like 5 minutes of content.
Right.
You're just like, that took 3
forever,
days, you know?
forever, you know?
Yeah.
So
it almost feels like, you know, you live your real life and then you live an extra life, an online life. On
It's
top
so
of that.
true. I have through what I do, I've met quite a few people who are like Insta famous, right? And it's such a different world. I mean, I have a friend who became Insta famous when I knew him, right? So like knew him, was nobody, became Insta famous and saw his personality change. Like from like being able to post pictures with friends and we'd be out, we'd take pictures. He'd never post it. Then you'd post like a picture of some other Insta famous person that you probably are going to get more likes from. And like suddenly these people were best friends. And I'm like, you just happened to run into him that night. I was there. Like, that's not, this isn't your friend.
Well, it's why a lot of people have their like Instagram Insta famous pages and then they also have private pages, right, where it's just like their private Instagram is where they have all of their real friends and where they post all of their real friends' pictures, and then their professional page is also where they post all of that other stuff.
It's honestly just gross.
It's
gross.
I think I'm too lazy for social media when it comes down to it. I get on it and I stalk it, and every once in a while I'll post. I'm probably the most active on our secret Worsties Facebook page. And that's about it. Like, I can't be bothered.
Yeah. It's already a lot, but it's just like, I don't know. I just can't imagine that and just knowing people that are like that, it's so disingenuous. Like, it really just it's like seeing a reality show filmed.
Well, I think the way
you know what I mean?
I think
like,
the
it
way
just takes that blinder off and you're just like, wow, that is. And we know it's fake. We know that it's fake.
Well, that's exactly
but it doesn't matter until when you really see how fake it is. It's such garbage.
But what's real is how it affects people. The people that
are your friends,
that look online and think that is real life, and it leads to like how what we're seeing right now with people.
And it just takes away all the empathy too. Like I literally had a come to Jesus meeting with like this dude, and I was just like, listen, I just feel like, I'm not begrudging you your Insta famousness. Like, that's great. I really want success for everybody I know, but it's so disingenuous, and it's so, you're not even who you were. Like,
right.
Just 2 years ago. And it's so disheartening it just lacks empathy of your real friends. And and I'm not saying you have to share pictures of all your friends all the time. And there's probably a little privacy thing too once you get Insta famous, like that you don't want maybe all your friends on blast or whatever. I get that as well, but it's just like, I don't know, because it did feel like it started to meld into the real world a little bit too. And it's just like,
yeah, I think it's different for everybody. I think that for some people, genuinely, they want to keep those worlds separate.
Sure.
And it's not necessarily, I don't know about I think I know what you're talking about. And I don't know about his case, but I do think that there are some people who genuinely, it's not a lack of empathy. It's a desire to have work-life balance in that, like, this is their job, right? And like, this is their personal life, and they want to have a separation, you know, between their work and their personal life. And I know that can sometimes feel like, it can probably feel like you're being
outside,
like pushed
outside.
Out. But maybe,
I mean, But genuinely, after I had a conversation with this person, I think it did recognize like, oh shit, how I treat you in public is kind of how I've been treating you online as well, which is that you're kind of just in the background. I always just felt like I'm not one of your groupies. I'm your fucking friend. Yeah. And I've been your friend for fucking years. Years longer than this has happened to you. This is new. I'm old. Okay.
Right.
We go back. This goes a year ago. You know what I mean? Or 2 years ago.
Some
or whatever.
people can't handle it too. Like they get really like big headed. I think everybody handles it like differently. And some people they think that, Instagram fame means it's like you're not Meryl fucking Streep, okay? Like you're not like a A-list celebrity, my dude. Like pump the brakes,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not real. It's not real. There's
online is not real, period.
It's so there's such a curtain.
I've
there.
had conversations with people where like people I hadn't seen in a long time, and I'll be talking to them about my life and like things that I'm struggling with in my life, and they have said to me, "Oh, I never would have guessed that because you look so XYZ online."
Correct.
Sure.
And I have to say, because I'm not gonna be posting all the time about like feeling like shit or like issues I'm having. Like I'm not like I'm posting when I'm happy and like when I'm having
a good time. Which is what most people are doing. There are some people who do post their whole life online, which is
I don't need that either. I'm not suggesting that that's the turn that needs to happen. I just think that we all need to have a real honest reality check with it.
Your online presence, from what I've tried to look at it, is like you're looking at someone's scrapbook.
Oh, totally.
You know what I mean? They used to be physical things that were in the closet before. Now they're online, and you don't see the real truth in scrapbooks either.
That's right.
People are posting when they're going to amazing vacations, when they've accomplished something, when they're happy, that sort of thing. Those are the memories that we post in our scrapbooks. Yeah. And so, if you're somebody that is struggling, and we all do, we all go through these periods, don't think that you're the only one out there just because everybody online looks so happy. And same with dating and stuff too. Just remember, it's not real. It's a representation. It's just a scrapbook.
I wonder if there is a balance though, because there are people who are exhausting because they post their every thought and feeling negative or positive online, and that is exhausting. But is there a way to post about struggling in a healthy way? Like, because I also think it is kind of important for people who are growing up online to see that people do struggle and like it's okay and it's normal to struggle. And like, what does that look like? Because we do all struggle.
I think that there's something to be said though about the idea that we have probably in the last 5 or 10 years seen people normalize therapy, normalize taking pills for whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
and also
life.
Those people that pull the veil off of like the Photoshop and stuff like that. Be like, hey, I don't actually look like that. Look at how I can make my stomach thin by using this app in 5 seconds of my time, So I know I'm not to be all like old person on it, but I do think that we'll learn to use this tool in a more positive way. I hope. I'm optimistic, but I
think it is being used in a positive way. It's just also being used in a really negative way, and like unfortunately negativity travels faster. Generally. But like there's a lot of good things that have come out of the internet and out of people being able to connect online. Now if you're in a small town and you're struggling with something, that there are other people like you. Like, and that's not something that happened 30 years ago. It was just like you were just alone.
Just you dealing with that one thing all by yourself. I do think there is something to be said, and I am not like pro Facebook. I mean, it's a tool that I use, but I will tell you that I do think that it's the place that I can achieve the most joy because it's the communities that you've built, right?
Groups.
Right. So it's those groups. It's our group is a great example of that. Drinkarinos, like some of the, Meowderinos, like those are the places that like I almost skip everything else and just go straight to those because I'm like, I do derive some joy and I do derive some community from people who have like-mindedness. And I think that there's, there's good and bad with those things too, but like it seems like you can cultivate a little bit of a escape for yourself that might not have happened before the internet, right? Like if you were in a small town and you weren't surrounded by like-minded people, you was just, you were just alone.
Exactly. We've had people reach out, and with my other podcast, with my feminism podcast, I can't tell you how many emails we've gotten from like younger teenagers who are like, I'm in this kind of situation at home, in this kind of situation in my town, and like, thank you for making me feel like I have friends who like think like me, and like I can process these feelings. So I think that's, but I think to bring it back to what you initially were talking about, Christina, about dating apps, and where we're at with dating apps, I feel like it's just like that. It's like, if you are able to really examine it and curate your feed and like your online experience, then we can keep that like really high standard for other people.
Listen,
it's just
quality over quantity.
Absolutely.
Getting a ton of matches is not all it's cracked up to be.
No.
I definitely went through that phase when I was doing my apps of just trying to be the most likable to the most amount of people.
Sure.
So I could get more apps, and figured, it's a numbers game. Dude, you deal with so much more bullshit when you go that way. Like, your best bet is to be 100% yourself.
Yep.
And maybe you get way less matches, but the ones that you do, that that they actually like you. They were attracted to you,
Yeah.
So
otherwise you're wasting your time.
That's right.
You're going to go, the real you's coming. Okay?
Yeah.
It's coming out one way or another.
The real you is going to spend an entire Saturday like getting off as to cleaning out a hall closet.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Don't hide it.
Yeah.
Throwing your back out.
Just wave that freak flag high.
Amen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, speaking of freak flags. Okay. So we've done this every single year.
Yes. Our annual.
Time once again to fuck, marry, kill the president.
Oh, Lord.
We're running out of.
Now, decent ones?
Yeah.
Even remotely decent ones?
No, we've been sleeping.
Oh, no.
I found an article that
Here we
has
go.
Hot
pictures.
presidents. I've seen this article.
Yes.
And it is surprising.
It really is.
Have you seen young Gerald Ford?
The presidents of the United States,
this
when they were
last year.
young
Did
and
we?
hunky. Dude, Franklin Pierce.
Who? I didn't even know that was a
We have
president.
a president named Franklin Pierce.
President
Dude.
Pierce?
I've never felt dumber in my life.
Me neither.
Dude,
I
we
feel
have to
real
look
dumb.
at young Theodore Roosevelt. Don't
Well,
sleep
yeah.
on him.
Yeah, no, young Teddy is what's up. Yeah, I'm down for
Ulysses
Teddy.
S. Grant. Not too bad. He's a little
From
like,
Ohio.
yeah, not a
He's
great president.
definitely
He
hipster.
looks like a hipster.
Yeah.
Yeah. He works at a record store.
Yeah.
In 2021.
Yeah.
Oh.
Coffee shop, you mean?
Yeah. Or that.
Let's see. Oh, Calvin Coolidge was okay. trying to find Woodrow Wilson's not bad. He's giving me a little bit of FDR vibes.
I like that. Looks like you.
Yeah.
That looks like you.
I'm going to
Christina.
go Teddy Roosevelt, personally.
Who did we do last year?
Oh, geez. We did last year. We did the ones that were president when we were born.
Oh, that's
so we did,
right.
Carter, Reagan, and
Bush. Senior.
Yeah. And then before we did hot presidents, so we did FDR, JFK, and Lincoln.
That's right.
Why don't we do the
Stinking
presidents
Lincoln.
who were your presidents when you graduated high school?
I like the old hotties.
Yeah.
I like Ted Roosevelt. I mean, he
wrestled a bear.
He is, and he's the Mr. Parks Ranger guy. And I know that there's a lot of not great things about Teddy Roosevelt. That's the thing. Is if we
go back far enough,
if we're going back, they're all shitty. Let's be
exactly.
real.
If you dive too deep, you're gonna hate them all.
You don't even have to dive that deep.
That's right. You just really scratch the surface.
Just right there, like layer number 2 for everybody. I'm gonna go with Ulysses S. Grant.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going
from Ohio.
That was my dad's middle name, Ulysses.
Oh, I like that.
Gosh, man, it's hard to. So we have Grant, we have Roosevelt,
Teddy,
and I know nothing about this guy, but
you're going Calvin Coolidge, aren't you?
It's going just straight looks.
Or Woodrow Wilson.
It's hard. That Franklin Pierce picture is pretty cute too.
I literally know nothing about this.
Like,
guy.
who
really
That may be
does
like
that?
a blind date. I have
Also,
no
it's like
clue
a
who you are.
painting, isn't it? It's not even.
Oh no! I feel like it makes me worried that he wasn't president very long.
I know,
right? What did he do?
Was it great? I mean, because it was really far back. I mean, maybe they were like, no, we cannot have somebody this.
Maybe we should fuck, marry, kill a president that we don't know anything about.
Yeah,
because we can't even
Franklin Pierce. We're going.
We're
going Franklin Pierce.
Okay, let me see
president
again.
Number. Yeah, I need to see his face.
Oh
too.
gosh, he died in 1869.
God
so
damn
who
it.
knows?
Boys, eh?
It's not
Sir,
that hot.
sir. You wait. Okay. He has his hairline goes all the way back to Mexico.
Well,
it's like a full it's like not even on this
And
continent.
it's like combed over.
I think he kind of looks like a Jane Austen character.
That's
He
true.
does. He does.
That is true.
He does look like he might be in a Dickens novel.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay, actually, okay.
Yeah.
He's all right looking. I will say this before we even get started. As we said, we don't know this person.
God bless the American education system, because I'm like,
I feel like I need to know. Like, I feel like I want to know more about Sir Pierce.
So I just want to say, if any of us marry or fuck him and he did something atrocious,
yes,
just know that we don't know that. Okay,
we are guessing that he wasn't great just because of the time period that he
probably
was in. Probably did not shit things.
Okay, so 14th president of the United States, serving from 1853 to 1857. Not long. Northern Democrat who believed that the abolitionist movement was a fundamental threat to the unity.
Yep, I knew it.
Yeah,
I knew it.
God
Why
damn
did we
it.
look it up?
He alienated anti-slavery groups by supporting and signing the Kansas-Nebraska Act and enforcing Fugitive Slave Act.
God damn it.
Yeah, no, he's terrible.
Well, so is Grant. Grant was a thief. He was, he wasn't, as bad as Franklin Pierce, but he was a grifter. He, I think, made a lot of money off of prohibition and stuff like that and racketeering.
Well, he did a lot of shit to Native Americans. Ulysses S. Grant did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. He does look like, though, that he's a Jane Austen villain right now.
He's a Bronte character.
Yes.
Yeah, more than an Austen.
Heathcliff,
Yeah,
for
like
sure.
he's done some shady shit. He has a wife locked in the attic.
Oh no! Oh
Yeah.
no! Oh no!
And he gets away with a lot because of his jawline. And people are
Correct.
like, it's fine.
Oh, no.
Yes. Yes.
Look, James Buchanan came in after him. I feel like I at least know him.
Listen, and Teddy did. And listen,
It ain't great.
Well, Teddy's short, fiery.
Is he short?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, he's got little man complex.
Which is funny because Napoleon complex I just learned a lot about recently.
There you go.
I feel like Teddy Roosevelt is hot though.
Oh,
like for sure.
Walk tall and carry a big stick.
Big stick. Big stick.
Yeah, no, I mean, I gotta marry Teddy Roosevelt.
I'm gonna top line all the presidents real quick. I feel like I think this is good, right? I'm gonna just Wikipedia them. We'll do a little top line. President from
which one?
This is Teddy,
Okay.
often referred to Teddy as Teddy or TR. American statesman,
Conservationist.
Thank you. Words are hard. Naturalist. I'm sorry. I'm studying philosophy right
You're
now, and
good.
my words cannot words at all.
You're
Got
good.
it.
Okay. Naturalist, historian, and writer who served as the 26th president from 1901 to 1909. He previously served as the 33rd governor of New York. Yeah, just to be very clear. Emerged leader of the Republican Party, became a driving force for the antitrust and progressive policies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dude, Keegan, this is you as president because he was constantly busy. He did a lot of shit.
Oh, dude.
And he was very
and still made time to kill bears.
Yes.
So, he was on top of it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm going to marry him. It is going to be exhausting.
He had a son named Kermit, and I don't love that, but...
Aw.
Kermie. Aw.
But yeah, he's somebody that I think would bring out the best in me because he was just constantly working. I feel like he worked himself to death because he died really young. or youngish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
here's the thing. I'm not big on the hunting aspect of it. However,
the times.
I feel like
it feels a little bit more excusable because of the times.
and I feel
Teddy
like
and his Rough Riders. Am
Hey-o,
I right?
hey-o. Ride me rough. Hey-o.
Oh. I do feel like, though, if you're with Teddy Roosevelt, you're going to eat well.
Yeah.
And
you
you're
are.
going to drink well.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
He's going to get real quality whiskey.
And
you know,
you're going to break up trusts, which is really awesome. You're going to bust up those rich motherfuckers.
That's right. You know what? I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about Ulysses Grant.
Okay.
From Ohio. American military leader, served the 18th president, 1869 to 1877. As President, Grant was effective civil rights executive who created the Justice Department and worked with radical Republicans to protect African Americans during Reconstruction. As commanding general, he led the Union Army to victory in the American Civil War in 1865, and thereafter briefly served as Secretary of War. Also, handsome man.
Yeah. Maybe I'm mistaking him for the bathtub guy.
Yeah, see, I was curious when
Cleveland?
you said that. No,
Cleveland?
Taft, right?
Taft.
Got stuck in the bathtub.
Okay. Yeah. I thought he was the bathtub dude.
Yeah, that's Taft. Also from Ohio, I believe.
Is he the one though that messed up Reconstruction? I have no idea.
It says to protect African during Reconstruction.
Yeah.
It says
Because he was
to
the
protect
president
radical
immediately
Republicans.
following after the Civil War was over.
Right.
He
Well,
was
he
preceded by Halleck. Who the fuck is that?
I don't know.
Oh my God, what is wrong with us?
Who the fuck is Halleck? Is that a president?
Listen, we're not trying to do like a history lesson. This is not a history podcast. We're going off of vague generalizations.
Okay.
I really feel like we already know too much.
We already know too much. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I had to show you his picture. I dropped my phone. It was
God.
dramatic. All right. So those are the three.
Yeah.
Got the top line.
And yeah,
I'm killing Pierce.
Obviously,
killing
we're killing
Pierce.
I don't
We
know
have
you,
to.
and you seem like a piece of shit. So
Yeah. Garbage town.
I don't care how much you look like Heathcliff. I'm killing you.
It's
such
done.
a
Sure,
shame.
we're over.
It's so sad
waste.
when hot people
True
are
waste.
so awful.
But you know what? It sounds like he died pretty young because I bet you he would have aged terribly. I feel like racists age very badly.
Oh,
like
horribly.
It does bad things for the skin. Racism is bad for the skin.
Exactly. This is a commercial for love because hate looks terrible
Ages
on
you.
you.
Ages
It does.
you.
It
Wrinkles, the whole lot. Yeah, I definitely, I'm going to marry Teddy. It's going to be exhausting. It's going to be a lot, but like, and I'll let Grant and his big hands.
He looks big.
Yeah.
Looks
sturdy.
Sturdy.
Very.
Yeah.
Looks like you can climb him like a mountain.
Yeah, you could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, okay. I think I'm going to do the same. And only because, although, you know, Ulysses S. Grant, there's a reason why Ulysses is a family name. My brother's middle name is Ulysses. My dad's middle name was Ulysses. And it goes back on the black side of my family.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because of Ulysses S. Grant.
Yeah.
You know, because did a lot of things for the African American community at that time, although he did some other shady things.
Yeah. Presidents, am I right?
And and it's tempting to marry him for that reason. However, I just get a sense in his pictures that like he's the serious.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to have a sense of humor.
No,
versus-
you're not having fun.
Teddy looks like
Teddy
he can
looks
make
like-
you laugh.
Yeah,
you're
for
fun.
sure.
You're gonna have fun.
Like he's gruff when he needs to be, and he's protective when he needs to be. But like when you are alone and hanging out, I feel like he's gonna like tell jokes. I feel like he's got jokes, you know. Like, and I'm like, I need
I bet
that
I could
in
get
my
him
life.
to spank me.
Oh, I bet you could.
shit.
I bet you.
Damn.
He's gonna
I bet
fuck
you
you
could.
on a bearskin rug.
Yes!
in front of a fireplace,
Yes.
a real big fireplace.
Yes, a big one. Okay. So
all stone.
I am going to marry Teddy. I also just like the name Teddy. Like,
Yeah.
hey, that's cute. I like it. And I'm gonna fuck Ulysses. Yeah.
Okay.
He's gonna
Here's
take his
the
aggression
thing.
out on you, Ulysses S. Grant.
I really want to marry Teddy. I find though that I would just end up being super jealous because I don't feel like he probably respects women as much as he respects his guy friends. And
No.
I want
Yeah.
to be able to go on all those adventures.
He's
and he's not
a
gonna
bro.
let me.
He's a bro's
Yeah.
bro.
He's not going to let me, and I don't
Right.
love that. So I'm going to fuck Teddy because I feel like Ulysses. Here's what I think about him. I actually think that he's probably very pro women, and slightly like he may be very I feel like he's very grounded. He actually reminds me a lot of Chris already.
Oh,
so maybe
okay.
that's what I'm saying here.
That makes sense.
Like, I think that he's one of those people that would ground me. I'm already crazy enough. Like, I'm already wilding out. And I don't need...
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need you, Teddy. I can go hunt on my own if I want to.
Right.
Okay?
I feel like Ulysses S. Grant would let you come along.
Yes.
Not because
he wants you to be there.
I don't even know if it would be that. To me, it's more like he's like, come if you wanna. It's just kind of like, all right. Which I think is... fine.
I feel like he would value
progressive for the time.
Yeah, right.
Just I feel like he'd value your opinion. I feel like you're at home and you've made dinner because you're the woman, but at the same time he's
and
like
1865.
Right. But at the same time he's like, you know, he's telling you about his day, and you're like, you're as the female counselor in the home because that's how it was again. You know, he's like, yeah, no, I get it. I see what you're saying. I see where you're coming from.
I actually see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he'd value your opinion. He wouldn't tell his friends. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe he would. Maybe he'd be like, you know, my wife, man, she's what a smart cookie.
What a lovely lady.
What a real gem. Really, really did well.
Yeah.
We really learned a lot of this one. Like, we learned that Pierce was a president.
Presidents we didn't know we had.
Pierce was a president.
The end. The end. You guys want to take 5 and we'll come back with stories?
Yeah.
Yes. And we're back. All right, Christina.
Okay. I got this one off of Reddit. I had been with my ex for about 4.5 years, had gone through some rough patches, but we were pretty serious at the time. At some point, he got caught up in a pyramid scheme and was convinced he'd be retired in 4 years.
Oh, no. That's so cute.
We were 21 at the time.
Oh, honey.
Oh,
I'm going to be retired by the time I'm 25. That's adorable.
Okay.
Adorable.
I had made it clear I wanted nothing to do with it.
Smart 21-year-old.
Figured I'd let him learn his lesson. I was in school. He was working some job at the time, plus the pyramid scheme, which wasn't actually making money off of.
What?
No way.
One day.
Wait, are you gaming? On a Chromebook?
Yep. It's got a high-res 120Hz display, plus this killer RGB keyboard. And I can access thousands of games anytime, anywhere.
Stop playing.
What?
Get out of here.
Huh?
Yeah, I want you to stop playing and get out of here so I can game on that Chromebook.
Got it.
Discover the ultimate cloud gaming machine. A new kind of Chromebook.
He tells me he has a really nice date planned for us. He was going to take me to a nice dinner downtown, told me it would be fun and we could dress up for it.
No.
Oh, no.
Wouldn't tell me where we were going. No. Having been together for a while at this point, my immediate thought was, he's going to propose.
Oh no.
My God.
I start throwing out hints and asked him if it's something I should get my nails done for. He said
he isn't picking up the
yes.
hints.
So now I'm excited, convinced he's going to propose to me. The night comes, I get all dressed up, and we head to the city for this dinner. The whole time I'm trying to get it out of him where he's taking me for dinner.
Oh, honey.
Suddenly, he pulls up to this nice hotel.
No.
Tons of people are walking
It's a
in,
hotel conference
all
room.
dressed fancy. I immediately knew what was going on, and my heart sank. It was one of those big banquets they hold for pyramid schemes where the top tier people come and talk about how rich they are and how you could be rich like them one day too if you work hard enough. He knew if he had told me where we were going and what it was for, then I wouldn't go.
Yeah.
So he played it up as this big fancy date for just the two of us.
I have a question.
Sir.
When people do this, what do they think the outcome is going to be?
Right.
Like,
why
why?
be like,
They don't play that game consequences. is
No,
what.
because I'm just like, why wouldn't you just go by yourself? Like, if you know that she really doesn't want to go, why would you get her all excited about something that you know she's going to be pissed about whenever she figures out what it is? Like, you're just making it terrible for yourself and for her.
I think some people think that they can like change your mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let me just show you. Like,
if you see,
you'll see.
If you see how fancy you can get dressed up.
Yeah.
If you see how much fun you can get dressing up fancy.
Yeah. And you see all these top tier people, like, I'm going to get you really like stoked for this thing. Yeah. And she's like,
no, you're not.
Yeah, no, you're not. Because instead, I was sitting at a table with him and a bunch of strangers eating awful, clearly pre-frozen, ready-to-cook chicken and potatoes.
No, they just got some lean cuisines, popped them in the microwave, and then put them on a fancy plate. They're like, here you go.
I was trying to hold back tears all night. I felt so overstimulated as I was in a crowded room full of strangers. There was so much noise. I could hardly hold a conversation with my ex because we had to yell over people, and it went on for hours. We broke up a few months later for reasons unrelated to that incident.
I bet that incident contributed.
Yeah,
I bet it did.
Didn't hurt.
It was in her head when it happened.
Yeah.
Now I'm with somebody who took me on real dates pre-COVID and still makes sure we have a date night. So ends up happy ending. But
what I want to know is if her ex retired at 25.
Yeah.
But
I
asking
know.
the real questions.
I don't think that
I bet he has a yacht
happened
now.
Ever.
Yeah. I doubt it. I'm gonna guess no. Oh, okay. Well, I got mine off of Reddit too, and mine is gonna make you mad.
Okay.
You're not going to love it. And, but there's a nice little lesson wrapped in here, just like our history lesson from earlier.
I'm learning so much today, you
This is
guys.
a real educational episode. Cassie goes back to school, just brings in all the education. Frickin' nerd.
Oh, Pierce is a president, and now this. Okay, go for
great.
it.
Met a guy in Bumble. We texted and talked for a while before meeting up, so felt pretty good about him. Went to a bar, and the bar ended up closing early because they had an unexpected leak. So, and I know this wasn't smart, I invited him back to my place for another drink. As soon as we get to my place, he gets super awkward, like not talking, being weird. I eventually say, it's getting late and I'm tired, so let's call it a night. Silence from him. I tell him he needs to call an Uber, so he takes out his phone, pretends to push some buttons, and puts his phone away. 10 minutes later, I ask him where his Uber is, and he just shrugs, says they must have forgotten him.
What?
Meanwhile, he never even looked at his phone again. I tell him he needs to wait outside. He tells me I need to just go to bed and he'll wait inside.
Excuse you?
No. Oh.
In my house?
I say again, he needs to go. He walks right past me and the door and proceeds to go to my bathroom. Tells me I can't deny him the use of my bathroom and closes himself in there for a good 10 to 15 minutes.
911.
Call somebody. Yeah,
He finally comes out, and I tell him if he doesn't leave, I'm going to call the police. He looks me dead in the eyes and says, word for word, how long do you think it'll take for them to get here?
Oh my God.
I'm on fire.
I think at that point you say you've already called the police. You know what I mean? Like
well,
when
they're
he
actually
comes,
on their way
when they come out of the bathroom. Like, yeah, I've already called the cops. Like, you got to get out of here. I mean, I know hindsight is 2020, right? Like, you looking back.
Woof. At this point, my fairly large dog must have picked up on the tension and starts growling at him.
God bless.
Bless your heart.
This is going to make me miss Tig.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
He leaves. I couldn't figure out where he went, but waited for the Uber to come to make sure he gets in and actually leaves. So I'm watching out the window and a car pulls up. He comes out of hiding, walks up to my car, kicks in my door, dents and cracks the paint, gets in an Uber and leaves.
Whoa.
Holy
I want to set this
shit.
human on fire.
I hope she reported that.
Is that awful?
That's fucking terrible.
There's definitely ways that you can report somebody through the apps for behavior like that, and they'll get banned from the apps.
Yeah,
but yeah, she could have definitely like called the cops.
Listen,
and yeah,
it's like awful. And I only told that story because I'm like, total learn from someone else's mistakes,
yes,
right? Like
exactly.
Like if nothing else, like I know we share stories so that we can all feel like we're all part of this human thing that happens to everyone,
right?
But truly, you know. I'm always that person who has to learn all the bad things all by myself. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what other people do. But if you guys literally hear nothing today, do not bring somebody that you've just met to your apartment. Ever.
And if you do, because I know that it happens. Yeah. Like, it happens. If you do,
send that information to your friends.
That's
and the moment you start to feel uncomfortable, because you better believe we are in constant contact with each other. We have several group chats. We have girl group, text chats. You guys know that if something like that was going down, I would be on my phone texting you immediately. Even if I was just saying like, this creepy guy in my apartment won't leave. And so that way I know that like, even if I don't call somebody, on our way right now. Somebody else is going to either come over.
Everyone knows that you're here right now, and also like the cops
has your information.
Right. Yeah, just make sure, bare minimum, just make sure other people know what's going on with you.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing, you guys, if you don't have a tight group of friends, fucking reach out to us. Fucking send us a message on Instagram. Send us a message. I know this sounds really stupid, but I don't want anybody to ever feel like
you got to reach out to somebody.
What he said is the scariest.
So scary.
It's literally scary. I got hot because it was so. That is a terrifying thing to say to somebody.
Yeah. And now this motherfucker knows where you live.
Oh my God.
And if for some reason you feel like you can't call somebody or they won't get there fast enough, like when he excused himself and was in the bathroom for 10 minutes.
Grab a knife.
Or go to a neighbor. Knock on a neighbor's door. Like at least they know that like there's someone in your apartment that you don't want, just, and again, this is not shamey at all.
No,
it's just like hindsight is 2020. You learn, but no, very scary situation.
I did not pick this story to shame this person. I picked this story to have this conversation so that we can all learn from experiences that other people have had. It's horrible.
Because he knows where you live now.
Awful.
It's scary.
He kicked your door of your car.
What's wrong with you?
Woof. I hate you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
on that note,
I wonder what triggered him, because it seemed like they were having a normal time at the bar and then something switched like on their way over. You know what I mean? Because she wouldn't have invited him home if he was being weird in the bar.
That's what I mean about like, I know that these things are going to happen because sometimes you use like your judgment in the moment of like, oh, well, this person, I've been hanging out with them for an hour and they seem like normal and nice.
Yeah.
And
then
like,
all of a sudden,
I want to keep this going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Geez,
terrifying.
That's so scary.
Alrighty. I met a guy on a dating website back when internet dating was newish and still kind of taboo. Which I was watching Girlfriends, what was that? With Tracy Ellis Ross.
Yeah.
From like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And there's an entire episode about how like she's meeting somebody online, like she met someone online, and it is discussed in a way where it's like shocking that she would go on a date with someone that she met online. Like there was a period of time, believe it or not, to our younger listeners, when choosing to go on a date with someone you didn't meet in person was like
weird,
right?
Yep. Now it's like prevalent.
The only way.
Yeah.
We chatted for a bit and I was pretty sure he wasn't a serial killer, so I agreed to meet up for dinner. I get dolled up and arrive early, taking a seat at a little two-top that I had reserved earlier that day. I see my date arrive and cheerfully wave him down. I notice a woman walking closely behind him, but assume that she just snuck in the door behind him. However, she starts to walk over to when he starts to walk over to me, I notice that she is following closely behind him. When they get to the table, without a word to me, he flags down a server and asks that another chair be squeezed into our already kind of crowded little table.
I'm sorry.
What?
Have approximately 1 million questions right now.
Should I leave? So did are you on a date? Am I intruding? I'm a bit thrown by this. Once the chair is placed, he flashes me a big smile and says hello. It's nice to meet me, blah, 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 not even acknowledging the woman who has taken a seat between us at the table.
Wait, what? What?
And you are?
For her part, she looks sullen and super serious. She looks like she's trying to size me up. He must have noticed me staring at her because he finally says, "Oh, this is Candace, my sister."
What?
Okay.
What? I'm not sure what to say, so I just say, "Hi, Candace," and reach out my hand. She takes it and shakes it without saying a word, like we're at a business meeting or something. It's all very weird again. But again, internet dating was still kind of new at the time. And I don't know, maybe he just thought he needed a third party present. But the way she was acting was freaking me out. She barely spoke, and when the waiter came back to our table to take our order, I ordered a cocktail. I swear I heard her audibly scoff as she looked me up and down.
Excuse me.
The guy, Jeff, was trying to be pleasant enough, making conversation as though she was not there, but I couldn't get over it.
No,
why should you?
Why should you?
Wait,
dude, if you have to have a little bit of awareness to know that
this is weird.
Things need an explanation.
Yeah. At least
you know what I mean?
You know, you could say that, like, hey, my sister Candace was really nervous about me going on a date with a stranger, so she wanted to come along.
Anything. I had to pick her up from a bad date. Her car broke down.
Why does she have to sit with you? Put her at the bar or something. Like, why is she with you?
She want to sit there?
It's like wet guy. Why are you wet?
Why are you wet?
Why are you wet?
Why?
This requires an explanation.
You cannot just show up this way.
It is.
Like,
it's
it's
weirder
normal.
that it's not being acknowledged.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
And now we're all in this vortex of another reality.
What in the actual fuck is happening?
This is also going to make you mad.
Oh, no. Okay.
So,
great. Oh.
Halfway through dinner, we were chatting about something when his sister interrupted. She abruptly...
Honey, are you here?
Right. She just decided now she's going to join. She abruptly asked me how much money I made at my job. When I hesitated to answer, she gave me a telling look to her brother, like that must mean I didn't make a lot of money. Then she asked if I had any kids. I could tell now that we were in the interrogation portion of the night.
Oh.
I said no. Hold on. Pause for effect. I said no, and then she asked me if I ever had an abortion. Oh, because he dropped her microphone. Shit. Oh my God.
That's none of your fucking business. That's none of your fucking business
fucking hate
ever.
You, Candace. Mm-hmm. You can get right the fuck out of here. I'm so sorry.
That's
legitimately am
inappropriate.
sorry about that noise.
It's fine.
I want to. Oh my God. I want to get up and leave right now. I'm gone, actually. What the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. Now I'm fed up. I say, I don't really think that's any of your business. So she says something along the lines of not wanting her brother to be with a, quote, girl who would do something like that. And if I wouldn't answer the question, then they would have to leave.
I'm about to leave my own fucking house right now.
Prefer that you would. I think, oh my God.
I want to leave my own fucking house right now. And
I'm just angrier that I'm stuttering because so many things are coming into my head where I'm like,
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. You asked me how much I made if I have kids. If I want to
imagine.
No, I cannot.
Yeah. And then you're going to judge me based on those answers. Like, who the fuck are you, Candace?
I can literally imagine myself in that moment and how visceral my feeling. I would be shaking. It would be hard for me not to hurt her right now.
Dude, I get like, I'm so angry. I'd be like, oh yeah, I've had 8. 8.
Yeah, just make it up, right?
What? Like, presumably you're sitting like, and what if real I did? Close to her because you're at a 2-top table.
Lean in. Yeah, I've had 8.
Yeah, just fucking
what
make
if
up
I
like
have?
the most.
Goodbye. Yeah,
like
goodbye.
And what?
It matters to you. Why?
Who are you?
Who are you?
What's your name again?
Candace.
I don't know you.
My God,
fuck! I am. Hot.
I know,
girl. How dare you bring the story up to us?
I'm so sorry.
No,
I love to hate it.
Okay, she says, I'm furious now. My date's face has gone white as he's glancing back and forth between his sister and me. I tell her I don't give a rat's ass if they do leave. Why would I want to be involved with such a shitty, judgmental shrew in the first place?
Okay. She's much kinder than I would be.
She looks like I just threw water in her face. She stood up, dramatically threw down her napkin and said, come on, Jeff, we're leaving.
Oh,
wow.
My flowers in the attic is happening.
Oh, right? Like, why? She's
so
jealous.
Much. Yes.
Why do you care this
my
much
God,
about who your brother
care?
dates? It's weird.
Honey,
it's very weird.
You just dodged 1,000 red flags.
Yeah. 100. Yeah.
Like, get the...
Because if this is what the sister's like, what is everyone else in that family
overbearing?
Like? Absolutely crawling right now.
Peel it off.
Sheepishly, with his head hung, Jeff gets up from the other side of the table. She grabs his arm like a mom dragging a kid away from a play date, and he mutters an apology to me as they leave.
Wow.
Honestly, I was grateful. I happily drank my cocktail and finished my meal in peace. Jeff tried to hit me up a couple times after that, trying to apologize for his sister's behavior, but I never responded. The experience almost turned me off of online dating for good.
Oh, God. Fucking Candace. I have never.
Fucking Jeff.
Throw
Throw some fucking
Get a backbone.
cojones.
Listen,
Jeff.
I am a little bit of an overbearing big sister to
but not
my
to-
baby brother and to
When
my
have
baby
you ever
sister.
gone on a date?
Absolutely never.
Would never.
And have I been polite to all the people that they have dated or whatever? Because it's none of my fucking business.
Yeah.
None.
You would
None.
say
Wow.
something if you felt like it was harmful.
Correct.
But you would say that to them.
To
You
them,
wouldn't-
right.
not to exactly. I've never been anything but nice to the people that I've gotten to meet that they're dating.
I don't want to go on my brother's date.
I
That's so
absolutely
weird.
do not want to either. I think it's very bizarre.
I hate everything that just happened.
Sorry.
I might need a break before we go
Well,
into Tainted Love.
oh
I'm
my
pretty
gosh.
sure I'm not going to love this either.
Well, this one I found. I was just doing a random Google scroll and came across a Texas Monthly article, which is
yes, ma'am.
my absolute favorite.
Gorge.
Don't
You pay for Texas Monthly or
I
something
do.
now?
I
Which is
do.
Oh my god,
funny.
that is so extra.
I just really like the articles.
Listen,
you know,
I was telling Chris the other day because we just upped our Apple membership to include arcade and like a couple things like that we were like family wise, and I was like, I'm really angry that we didn't do the one that includes the news, because how many times I go on the news, I'm actually like now the person who's like, I can't even get on Facebook or Instagram or not Instagram, but like Twitter. I just want to like look at the news, just the facts, ma'am.
Yep.
I don't want to see 50 people's opinions
because
about
you
it.
know
I
you're
just
going to
wanna-
click on the comments,
Comments.
even when you don't want to.
That's right.
Like
Yeah.
your brain is like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. As
I
you do
just
it.
want the news. I don't need to hear Sylvie from Oklahoma's opinion about it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Candace is probably now in her late 50s
Is
commenting
this Candace Owens actually?
underneath
That's who this
every single news article, you know?
I know. I don't want your opinions. But so this one was called The Doctor, the Dentist, and the Killer. And I'm going to tell you why this hits home. It does hold a very serious shame receipt.
Oh, I can't. Oh, I'm so
Oh my god!
excited.
I also let her know.
So-
Personal experiences.
Yes. It's very embarrassing, actually. So
Can't wait.
Okay. September 2nd, 2015, in a parking garage in upscale Dallas neighborhood, a Jeep Cherokee pulled up behind one of the residents, Kendra Hatcher. Cameras show a dark figure get out of the Jeep to shoot her in the back of the head, steal her purse, get back in the car, and speed off. Witnesses called 911 and cops arrived to find Kendra in her doctor scrubs dead on the cold concrete. The first theory was robbery, but that was super unusual because this didn't happen on the street. It was in a gated parking garage.
Yeah.
Police started to think she must have been targeted, but who would target Kendra? She was born and raised in a small Illinois town named Pleasant Plains. Her mother, Bonnie, owned a quilt shop.
Oh, God, this is so cute.
This is the
Kendra was
wholesomest
captain of her high school cheerleading squad and the girls' volleyball team. She went on mission trips abroad to help build churches. She led Bible studies for low-income children.
We wouldn't be friends. She sounds great.
She attended DePaul University in
Birds
Indiana.
fucking loved her, you know?
She has, like, exactly. She literally is this person. Like,
Yeah.
she has, like, birds that are her friends.
Did she light up every room that
She
she walked
lit
into?
up. She is the epitome of a Dateline eulogy. It's like zero things they could find that she's ever done wrong in her whole life.
Never been
She is
mean
the
to a single person.
perfect
Yeah.
middle, like upper middle class, middle America
Angel.
beautiful angel. And she's a dentist.
Of course.
So Kendra spent her spring breaks working for Habitat for Humanity. And one Christmas, she traveled to Ecuador to provide free dental work for children. And she had married her college boyfriend, but it didn't last. They had an amicable divorce.
Of course it was amicable.
Yeah, of course
exactly.
it was.
They're still friends.
They can't hate each other. They still send each other Christmas cards.
Because they just want the best for each other.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When he got remarried, she was invited. She was probably the maid of honor.
Yeah.
Exactly. She's like, she's best friends with the new bride.
She just really loves his new wife. They're so, I mean, and they're great together. You know, it just wasn't meant to be for him and Kendra.
Right.
It just wasn't meant to be, but she sees this as this is a happy new beginning for him.
Yes.
And she just loves Jenny.
And
they're
you know what?
so close.
She's just going to do her thing,
That's
and
right.
it's going to work out in the Lord's time.
That's
so. In
Sorry,
2010,
her teeth are perfect, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
The dentist, of course. So
in 2010, hoping for a fresh start, she moved to Dallas, went to work at Smile Zone, and rented an apartment at Gables Park 17, which features a saltwater infinity pool, a fitness studio, a gourmet coffee bar, a cyber lounge, and a 24-hour concierge. She was gorgeous and well-loved by everyone.
of course.
Not the kind of person
Listen, if you're
that
gorgeous,
crime happens to.
But you know what? People like that definitely have enemies because hate is going to hate, right? There's always going to be somebody who is
Like me,
mad that
was
you-
over here gagging.
Yes, but you're not petty enough to like,
Oh, no,
you know,
Kill
like.
somebody 'cause I'm jealous.
But there are, like, because people who are that perfect provoke jealousy in other people.
I mean, I guess.
4 months earlier, Kendra had downloaded Tinder in her new city. She swiped right on a guy named Dr. Ricky Panagua. I don't know how you say his last name. Panigua. Dr. Ricky.
Panagua?
Dr. Ricky.
All right.
He was 38, finishing his residency in dermatology in Dallas. So now they're going to have fucking perfect skin
This
too.
bitch.
And perfect
And
teeth.
perfect teeth.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyways, he was also previously married and divorced, but was described as quiet and thoughtful. Great bedside manner. People had great things to say about Dr. Ricky as well. Things moved lightning fast for the couple, who started saving for a wedding fund. And in fact, they were supposed to be going on a vacation to Cancun that next day. A vacation before they came back to Dallas to pack up and move to California to start their new life together. Cops pull Ricky in immediately because they're like, yeah, this perfect person, it's always the boyfriend.
Yeah.
So like, what the fuck is up with you, Dr. Ricky? He
Ricky
seemed
P.
Dr. Ricky P seemed genuinely distraught. He couldn't think of who would do this. Cops showed him surveillance video and he couldn't ID the woman driver or the passenger of the Jeep Cherokee. So police released footage of the Jeep in a hope that a tip would come in. So this guy named Lewis calls and is like, yeah, that's my car. What the fuck is going on? They bring him in and ask like, hey, you kill anybody today? And he's really confused. He's like, no, I work in an auto garage. I lent that car to my pal, Brenda Delgado. But at the time of the murder, both me and Brenda were eating at a restaurant together. So I have no idea what the fuck is going on.
Did you valet your car?
Who did Brenda lend the car to?
Yeah. Also, if you borrow a car, like, don't let
You don't get to
it's-
lend a lended
it's not
car
your-
to someone else.
Thank
Yeah.
you. That's not the etiquette.
No.
That's not your car to
You don't,
lend
you, don't, you don't do that.
Thank you. So police round up Brenda, who says, no, Lewis is confused. My friend Crystal borrowed the Jeep. She's a new friend.
Me too.
She's only hanging out for the past month. She's a single mother, a bit down on her luck. I lent her the car. Okay, cool. They now grab Crystal. They're like, cops now have 3 people in 3 interview rooms with 3 stories.
All connected to the same fucking car.
Yeah.
Yes. They begin to focus on Brenda and Crystal. After grilling Crystal, she begins to tell the tale of a carjacking, that she was in the car when someone with a gun comes up and tells her to drive into that parking garage, gets out, shoots Kendra, gets back in, and has her drop him off a few miles away. She thinks his name is Lamar. That story begins to crumble as they search her phone records to find a man named Christopher Love. And when they pick him up and search his car, they find the murder weapon in the console of his car. So, cops are super confused.
This is a lot.
This is a lot. Crystal and Christopher zero connection whatsoever to Kendra. They don't know her. They've never met her. Like, what the fuck's going on? They zero back in on Ricky thinking, okay, maybe murder for hire, right? And it's always the boyfriend. But by now, the doctor's getting a bit reluctant to help out, thinking of lawyering up. But everyone was saying their relationship was in that perfect early stage, and they just couldn't find a motive until Ricky provides a clue. Looking at the surveillance photos again, he started to think about someone he used to date, that he still talked to platonically, that had been one of his first phone calls after the murder, Brenda Delgado.
Interesting.
Now, Brenda's family had moved to Dallas from central Mexico in the 80s, and she grew up in a lower-income community in southeast Dallas. She was a very studious and determined girl who worked a few jobs to help pay to become a dental hygienist. She was very religious, attending services regularly, and although she was pretty, she didn't really date. In 2012, she decided to try dating apps for the first time, and that's where she met Dr. Ricky P. And for their first date...
She's like, jackpot.
Yeah. He took her to a J-Lo concert.
Oh,
On your
shit.
first date?
You set that bar all the way up.
Not
3
here to
months
fuck around.
later, they moved in together.
Also, Ricky moves fast.
Yeah.
He's very fast.
Ricky moves real fast.
Real fast. Real fast.
Too fast food.
Brenda told everybody about her doctor boyfriend.
Yeah, I would too.
She showed him off to parents,
Yeah.
friends, doing all the things. And in
I get
June,
a whole new Instagram.
3 months is too soon to be showing someone off like that.
Oh, no.
You're
He took you
not.
to a J-Lo concert.
You're like, we're basically married.
yeah, exactly. Do you know how much this costs? So, yeah, and after talking, in June 2013, so they've been dating like almost a year, Brenda actually learns she is pregnant. After talking to Ricky, she decided to have an abortion, and police later discovered the depth of her distress about this on the Notes app in her phone, but she agreed to it because of her surety that they would have children someday.
Why
She's
would you do that?
Super religious, and so like she's committed to whatever it takes to make this work. Yeah. By 2014, she was wearing a promise ring, and they went to Mexico to meet Brenda's. We don't do promise rings.
I'm throwing a
If
flag
you're
on that
not
play.
15,
Throwing a flag on
you
that
don't
play.
do a promise ring.
Thank you. I was like,
Throwing a flag on that play.
How old
I'm sorry, you're a doctor in your mid-30s and
No.
you're giving somebody a promise ring?
No.
Ma'am.
No.
Listen.
It's an
ladies,
engagement ring or earrings. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's exactly right. I'm not putting
a
anything on
tennis
this.
bracelet or an engagement ring.
Right.
You don't why?
No.
Like I would be so insulted
Yeah.
if I was in my 30s
How dare you.
and someone gave me a promise ring.
I promise
Yeah.
you better get the fuck out my face.
There you
Does
go.
this mean
I
we live
promise you
together,
better-
Ricky?
This is adulthood.
Right.
You're not asking me to fucking prom.
Yes.
Flex your letter
Yes.
jacket. Get out of here.
Get the fuck out of here with your class
no,
ring.
I hate that.
Ugh.
So, by 2014, she's wearing that promise ring. They went to Mexico.
Sorry, I have to pause this for one more second because I can literally just imagine Tony coming to Keegan and being like, "No, it's not an engagement ring. It's a promise ring."
It's a promise that I will get you an engagement ring
At some point.
At some point. What does it mean when you're in adulthood?
It barely made sense in high school. Like, now I'm just like, no.
Did you guys ever get a promise ring?
Yeah.
No, but
Oh,
I
I did.
had-
I did.
I didn't, but I had friends who did.
I did.
I'm sorry, I
definitely
need the story.
No,
Yeah.
no, it was just like, it was my ex-boyfriend when we were in high school, and it was more like I promise I'm going to get you something nice at some point.
At some point. He's like, but in the meantime, take this gumball ring.
Yep.
That's definitely not going to turn your finger green.
Yeah, no, it didn't. It's real gold, but them were chips.
Oh.
Those were just chippies.
Damn.
No, I'll fuck around with no chippies.
Now, so they go to Mexico to meet Brenda's extended family. They moved into a 2-bedroom apartment together, which is LA speak for commitment.
That's right.
A 2-bedroom?
Thank
You're
God
married.
we made it.
Yeah,
yes.
That's exactly my feelings. We just moved into a 2-bedroom apartment, and I was just like, "Mama, I made it." When you live in a city, and Dallas is an expensive city too. When you live in an expensive city,
and you have a bedroom you don't actually need,
Now, you're moving on up for real. Like things are happening. However, in July of 2014, the unthinkable happened. Ricky suddenly broke up with her and asked her to move out.
How dare you?
Because he met an actual Disney princess, and he was like, "Sorry about you."
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's
met this lady named Cinderella.
It kind of seemed like, and I did some digging to try to figure out like why they broke up. And like there's differing stories or whatever. Like one said that he just sent her a fucking email, which I was like, Dr. Ricky P.
I'm sorry,
if you guys are
you
dating for
gave
2
me-
years.
I have
a promise ring and
motherfucker.
an email.
Yeah. No.
You don't know how to act, Ricky.
Yeah, but I don't know what the truth of it is, or why they broke up this first time. But he asked her to move out. Exactly.
She can't just go into the spare bedroom. They have two.
Brenda like drops out of dental hygienist school, doesn't take it well, like just
I don't like that for her.
awful. But finally, like gets on her feet, gets a 1-bedroom apartment, and like moves on. In September of that year, at a salsa dance studio Ricky just started taking classes at, they met up randomly and reconnected.
So she randomly,
quote,
you met up randomly at a salsa dancing class.
Yeah.
No, she was
Dallas
stalking
is a
him.
big enough city
Yeah.
that it's just random enough.
What a weird place to randomly run into someone. Like if you randomly
you're
ran into
taking
somebody,
this class too?
yeah, it's weird. Like if you randomly ran into someone at the grocery store, I'd be like, okay, like I could see that. But I'm like, you both signed up for salsa dancing classes at the same time, at the same studio, at the same like appointment, like you know, like class, time. No.
So, yeah, they
Weird.
reconnected, but it would only last a few months before Ricky broke up with her again in February of 2015.
Honey, it's not meant to be.
Yeah, but Ricky thought Brenda was like handling things well. They still texted platonically, and he saw her out and about like everywhere he went, running on the same trails, going on a lunch date with another woman at Panera, etc., etc.
Like, that's weird, Ricky. Why? What's wrong with him?
Yeah, he's just like, Dallas is a city. It would be like if I broke up with somebody that was living in North Hollywood and we randomly ran into each other all the time.
Tell you
would
this.
not. You wouldn't. You
I
will
would never see them again.
Let
for the
me
rest of your
tell
life.
you,
Never.
I am always like, every time I go home, there's a little part of me that is like worried I'm going to run into my ex-boyfriend.
Right. But that's a small town.
And Springfield is a small city. It's a small city, and we have friends in common. And I know that, like, you know,
it's a small circle.
Yes. And it's possible.
Yeah.
You know, it is
It's
actually very possible.
Absolutely possible.
But it has not happened once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay? Because it's not that, like,
It
No.
doesn't really
not-
happen.
No.
Not like this.
No.
Not like
If it
this.
happened once, I'd be like, okay, yeah, maybe. But if it happens over and over and
Yeah.
over, somebody
that's
is
a
seeking
stalker.
you out. Yeah.
Yeah, because spoiler alert, Brenda was not okay.
No.
So
Don't say.
who hasn't checked up on their ex? Look to see who they're dating. Talk shit about the new girlfriend.
Everyone
Yes.
does that.
Everyone does it, but Brenda took it to a whole nother level. She had all of his passwords, email,
Wait.
iCloud,
Too much.
keys to his apartment,
Wait.
Oh,
tracking apps.
What?
Nah.
Wait, and how? How did? Sorry, I'm shaking
They
the
live
table.
together.
How did he? But how did she get? I live with Anthony. I have some of his passwords.
Yeah.
I don't have passwords to fucking everything.
I don't either.
Yeah, I mean,
And I
somebody,
don't want them, actually.
some
I can
people-
barely remember my own motherfucking
Exactly.
passwords. Okay?
Listen, we have a joint Amazon account, and the number of times I have to ask
Chris,
Anthony for
same.
the password.
Chris is always like, what's our Amazon account password again?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Listen, this is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an awful online individual. I had one password that I thought of back in 2008,
Mm-hmm.
and it's my password.
Christina, you got to change
Yeah.
that, especially
For
now that you said it on the podcast.
Everything.
Oh, now you must.
You'd never guess it. You would never guess it, and it's a weird combination of things, but it is the password. So I
Yeah,
mean,
I
if
do have
Dr.
a-
Ricky is like me, and he's just like, that's the password.
Right.
Chances are it's that.
It's
which
like
a lot of different
let me
things.
tell
It's
you.
like Finger Hut catalog, 1922. Like it's like what? But it's for everything.
It's for everything.
Ricky
Yeah.
sounds
Exclamation
like
point.
Ricky sounds like the type who would have one.
Exactly.
Like,
he's just
Ricky
like
is not-
easygoing. He's just really like chill.
Ricky's like, yeah, it totally makes sense that I'm running into her everywhere.
Yeah, he's not a very like suspicious or like he's just
doesn't
low
sound
key.
very smart, honestly.
Yeah, also
and that
that.
also bothers me that he's a doctor.
Doctor.
Yeah.
He's good at one thing.
Yeah.
And one thing only.
Skin.
Real good at skin.
So weird.
I do skin well.
Now, it's possible that Brenda remained a passive observer of Ricky because she sensed from reading Ricky's emails and that sort of thing that the relationships and the dating that he was doing at this time wasn't going to last. It's possible that she believed that Ricky deep down still loved her, that all she had to do was stay patient, bide her time,
Keep following him around Walmart.
wait for him to come back around. But then he met Kendra.
This
So-
bitch.
This is what hooked me on the story, and this is what made it personal for me. Have you guys ever met somebody that brought out all of your ugly insecurities and jealous rage? You ever had that person? I have.
I mean, I wouldn't say that it's ever brought out like rage in me,
Right.
but definitely I've met people who make me feel
Yeah.
inadequate.
Insecure. Yeah.
Insecure and inadequate.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and it's part of why like I stopped auditioning as much in person because like I would feel those feelings of just no.
I was dating my ex at the time, and I was still working at the last place I worked in Ohio. And he was also fooling around with another person that worked there. And I knew about it. It was like an open secret or whatever that he would deny and everything. And this person brought that out in me. It was like just a rage that I've never felt before. And it didn't really become something about my ex. It was more like I have to win. Like because
Oh yeah.
it's
I feel that
ugly.
that competition. I definitely feel that. I feel that for real.
Yeah.
I have a that really triggered a real shame receipt for myself. In fact, yeah, I'll tell you the shame receipt. It's not great.
No, I actually went as far as looking up how to fuck with a certain model of car. I never did anything, but the fact that I even went that far is so embarrassing to me. And so like I consider myself to be a somewhat hinged individual, but I cannot believe it got to that point where I was looking up details about a car.
Yeah.
Over my ex. Who, that's not a fucking prize.
It's
like,
not worth it.
But
No.
it just that how ugly those insecurities can get where you're like, you're not fucking better than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just there to me. Okay, so this is what I did. I broke up with my ex, and rightfully so. We weren't meant to be, and it's a good thing. But he immediately, like when I say immediately, like the next day, I was like, we shouldn't live together. He moved in with my best friend at the time. And started dating her like best friend.
Okay. Not
her.
Okay.
But
I
like,
was like,
her other best friend, like
shit.
immediately.
But still,
Like living together, living in the same room together, and I was just like, and I'm still.
Which means there had to have been stuff going on before because you don't move on that
totally.
quickly.
Oh yeah, it was V fast, and honestly, trust me, I'm the winner here. But I know I don't want to disrail this story, but I straight up had sex with one of his friends in the next room just to, and it was like the most spite sex.
Yeah.
To just be like, I can do it too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it was just like, and it wasn't even that good. It was just like, I just wanted to be like, I can move on too.
Yeah. I think the thing is, it's all varying degrees, but everybody has those. Those feelings are normal. For me, I've never had that over a guy, but like I have had it for career stuff. Like there have been people, there was a girl I did a play with, gorgeous. And she still works and everything. Lovely, so nice, which sometimes makes it worse.
Yes.
Right? Because like she's so nice and she's in a movie. It's a series of movies. I'm not going to say it, but like she's in a series of one of the movies in this series that we would usually watch because they're scary movies. And so we would usually watch them and Anthony would be like, do you want to watch this? And I won't watch it. Like I won't watch things that she's in because I have this like insane jealousy about her success.
Yeah.
You know, and like,
and then we are also like
it's
kind
weird.
people so that you feel bad
for that feeling.
those feelings.
because I want to be happy that she's successful, right? Like I'm she didn't do anything to me. Like good for her that she's successful, but it triggers some deep insecurity that I have about myself. You know, like
it's universal. It is. And it's so that feeling like she dated this guy. She put her whole life into this guy. 2.5 years,
which
with
don't
this
do that.
guy.
That's
don't do it. Yeah, if you put too much of yourself into anything, it's like that Horcrux thing. Like you can't do that and expect to come out of it
split
unscathed.
yourself up into multiple things.
Yeah.
Be smart.
Okay, Voldemort.
Okay. So that was basically Kendra for Brenda. Kendra was beautiful when Brenda was pretty. Kendra was rich while Brenda struggled. Kendra was beloved and volunteered and white and perfect and had ensnared the man that Brenda had built her life and her self-esteem around.
Kendra was a dentist while Brenda was a dental assistant.
Yep, exactly.
So it's everything is a step. Yeah.
She had devoted her life to Ricky, lived with him, worn his promise ring, posted messages on Facebook about her love for him, gotten pregnant with him and had an abortion, and now she was being replaced by an all-American beauty from a heartland town called Pleasant Plains, someone that Brenda could never be.
So, triggering.
Yeah. It would be triggering. That's true.
So Brenda began constantly talking to friends, family, anyone about wanting to hurt Kendra. And so like once things like got into motion and stuff, people came out of the woodwork and they're like, oh yeah, she asked me to do this. She said she had a bat and she was people came out of the woodwork, but so many people were like, but she wouldn't do any of those things. Like no one took it super seriously. Everyone was just like,
believe people when they tell you what they believe people.
Especially but like what would we do like with our friends if somebody was saying that to me? I guess it depends on which friend, but in general, if somebody was saying that to me and I didn't know how obsessed they were, I might be like, listen, you need to fucking chill. This is weird and not normal. But I don't know that I would immediately jump to like,
call
they're
police.
Gonna do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Well, and even then calling the police would do no good anyway. But I think that if suddenly all of a sudden Christina was like telling me like how much and maybe in detail like that she wanted to hurt somebody, I'd be like, I think maybe we should have
like
a
sit
down,
chat.
like have a conversation.
Yes,
because this is not you, and this feels very extra.
Extra. No one took her seriously, and she just didn't seem like the type that would do anything but talk shit until Crystal. Now, Crystal was the single mother. She was really down on her luck. Like, she happened to meet Brenda through like a roommate that Brenda had at the time. And Crystal just thought Brenda like has her shit together. She's going to become a dental hygienist. She has her own apartment and she pays bills and stuff. So it didn't take long for Brenda to take Crystal under her wing and basically like get Crystal to hate Kendra as well. Like Kendra hurt her friend. And so she agreed to help Brenda out with this whole like killing of another person for $500.
Whoa,
Our friend.
First of all,
$500?
Yes.
Nah,
Just 3 digits?
Yes.
that's not even going to pay half your rent.
Yeah.
I bet
First
your
of all.
promise ring was more expensive than mine.
I mean, and secondly, okay, girl code.
Nah.
No. Here's what I'm saying. Girl code you hate a bitch your friends hate.
That's right.
Like that's girl code,
Absolutely.
right? Like,
Yeah.
like if you're like, I hate that bitch, then I'm like, I hate that bitch, and I don't even know her because that's
she ain't done shit to me, but you
she
just
hasn't done
don't.
anything to me. But like, you're my friend, so I hate who you hate. Like that's
right.
girl code.
That is. Yeah.
That's as far as it goes.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, I'll talk shit all day.
I will
Absolutely
talk
right.
trash on this, but I will stalk her Instagram and talk trash on
Yes.
every single selfie. But I will not.
One of
I
my
gotta kill her.
favorite things from the Sex and the City thing is when they're all sitting around and Carrie Bradshaw is like talking shit about Big's new girlfriend.
Yes.
And they're just making fun of her name. They're like, what kind of fucking name is that? And it's
Yeah.
like, it's so...
Wait, Christina, Keegan and I have a full hatred for a person that you don't even hate as much as we hate.
No, yeah.
We do. And that bitch,
Listen,
Yeah, listen.
I will make fun of every single thing.
everything.
Yes. But that's what
Everything.
you
And
do
you
as
know
girl
what?
code.
She's probably a perfectly nice
She's
person.
not.
Doesn't matter.
I hate
I
her.
mostly pity her, but
I
that's
don't.
just me.
I hate
That
her.
makes me feel even better.
Yeah.
That's
She's just sad.
yeah. I'm like,
I'm sorry, you're just
I'm
sad.
just sorry.
I'm sorry. You're just sad.
So they follow Kendra around Dallas for days, watching her through night vision binoculars.
Oh, that's too much.
And decided the best way to do it was to shoot her. But neither of those women knew how to shoot, nor did they own a gun. So their plan was to drive into Crystal's neighborhood, which was a little rougher, and just roll down the window and ask random people.
What?
And they found Christopher Love that way. Just rolled down the window. Hey,
Hey, sir.
wanted.
Excuse me.
They basically were
He's like,
able
oh
to.
yeah, sure. Can I get in the back seat?
Sure.
What?
Come on. So they basically said that Brenda was a member of a huge drug cartel because she, looks, ethnic enough to pull off that lie, I guess. And she promised him thousands of dollars in drugs and money from the cartel if they could pull off this hit.
Okie dokie. Why are the people in this story so stupid? That is such a bad plan. Like for so many reasons.
Right.
Right? Because it's like not only
He's
are
not
you
afraid to kill somebody.
He's clearly not afraid to kill someone. You're lying to him about what you're able to promise him, and you're invoking the name of a drug cartel. It's all bad.
It's all bad. It's bad. Things have literally gone like.
And what do you think happens to a hitman when you don't pay him?
Right.
Like
Hi.
he doesn't owe you. I mean, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So weeks passed. They're like driving around town, following around Kendra, and like nothing's happened beyond that at this point. And maybe nothing would, except Dr. Ricky P sends an email to Brenda being like, listen, I met somebody. Things are going phenomenal. We're moving to California.
So she's about to lose him.
Yes.
Right.
Fully.
Like they're packing up, they're leaving Dallas and they're moving to California. Oh, and also you've been on my cell phone plan and I need you to get off my cell phone plan. So
I can't believe he let her on his cell phone plan that long.
He forgot.
It didn't
He was
matter.
like, oh shit, that's right.
Yeah.
That's why this bill's so high.
Yeah. So basically, he had been offered a position at a medical practice outside Sacramento. He'd be moving there in October. But first he was going to go on this magical vacation to Cancun. And he asked Brenda if she knew anybody who would be willing to buy some of the furniture from their apartment.
So he's
old
legit
apartment.
thinking like their relationship is super friendly.
Yeah. He thinks they had
We're buds.
an amicable, platonic breakup. He's moving on. She seems to be doing fine. Meanwhile, she's so enraged by this that she's driving around with some random dude in the back seat and night vision binoculars, like stalking his girlfriend. Like, so
His radar is.
I really feel like
Full
he's
off.
pretty oblivious.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
gotta be.
You're not doing well.
What world
at
are
life.
you living in that
Right.
you're just like, this is fine.
You're not lifing right.
This seems fine.
So Brenda decided that the day of the murder would be September 2nd, the day before the vacation that she snooped and found out about. But by the time the cops had learned all this, Brenda was long gone. So like the murder happened or whatever. They finally put all these pieces together. Brenda deuced out and was like in Mexico, just living under the radar. Anytime that she left like the place that she was staying in, she would always wear sunglasses and a hoodie and everything like that. They ended up having to make her one of like America's most wanted.
Oh shit.
And upping like the amount of money for her capture, which of course finally led to it.
Yeah.
However, Mexico wouldn't extradite her because they were like, no, for death penalty stuff. So they took death penalty off the table. By this point, Crystal had flipped and turned state's evidence in order to get
a plea,
like a softer sentence. She got like 35 years. Christopher Love was sentenced to death and did receive the death penalty.
Texas.
Oh shit!
It's
It's Texas. You can't kill people in Texas. You can't look at someone wrong in Texas. Though
you definitely can't. You can't kill somebody
in
like
Texas as long as they're on your property.
You can't kill someone like Kendra in Texas.
That's right.
Ever.
Yeah.
You can't kill a Disney princess in
That's
Texas.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
They will put you down.
They will literally not even hesitate. So they got her, and you know, she was pretty much the whole trials, like she would look down, she wouldn't look up, and then Ricky testified. And like the jury got to see like literally she like transfixed
That's
on
so
him
fucking weird.
the whole time, and he was like trying not to like look over her direction, and it took the jury 20 minutes.
No, they're in and out.
Yeah.
They're not trying to miss lunch. They're
bye to find her
They're like,
guilty.
we actually got plans tonight. This is shutting.
We're all going clubbing
open
after
shut.
this.
Yes.
So
It's one of the fastest like jury decisions of all time. It's like 20 minutes was actually rounding up.
Oh Jesus!
So before they found her guilty and sentenced her to
they went in that room and they were
life
like,
in prison.
we all feel the same, right? Everybody's good?
Cool,
all right,
cool,
well,
we're
just-
good?
we're-
All right,
how about we
Jenna.
let's sit here for 5 minutes so that they think that we actually talked about it and go back out there.
Someone's like, I actually have to pee, and they're like, okay, we'll wait.
Right.
And that's why it took that long.
But I always wonder in stories like this, I'm like, you don't get to be with him anyway.
Yeah.
Like, look at what happened. It's like you don't get to be with him anyway.
Again, somebody is not playing the game consequences.
No, you're not thinking it through from start to finish.
Yeah, it just kind of seemed like her plan was like, she's like, if I just play it cool and I run into him again, like he'll get whatever this is out of his system and it'll come back to me. And then of course, like the whole like addition of Kendra, who is, according to like all the articles I read and Datelines, was like a literal saint that walks among us. Mm-hmm. It just snapped her. Yeah. So that's the story of Brenda Delgado.
Ooh-wee.
Wow.
There you go.
Ooh-wee, wow.
And we all got to relive our past moments
Wow.
of jealous
Shame,
rage.
jealous, shame,
Shame.
Yeah.
I know your name.
I think you started this actual thing with being like, have you ever felt this way? And we're like, no, we're pretty normal people. Okay, here it is.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, no, you're right. We did.
Jealousy is normal. Like that.
Yeah.
It's such a normal human emotion. It's just like
it does make you do weird
right.
stuff.
It makes you do weird stuff. It makes you think weird stuff. But
Makes
like
you not like yourself too. in
Right.
so
Oh,
many
it's
ways.
awful.
Yeah.
It's an awful feeling.
yes, it does. But you
Definitely has never
feel
made me
it.
kill
You
someone.
process it.
That's right.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then you learn a healthy way to cope and move on.
Exactly.
Like that is
Yeah.
how that's supposed to go.
Oh my gosh.
Woof.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
Well,
What are we watching this week?
well, I think I started to mention a little bit. I don't even know if we recorded this part, but oh no, we didn't. It was during the break. We talked about Real Housewives last week. That was a crazy week, and so I was just like, I need to like not do anything with my brain. That means
Real Housewives is the best for that.
Yeah.
So you were like, turn on Real Housewives. I'm like, I don't know. And I just turned on Hulu, and there was like this like investigation ABC thing about Erica Jane and her husband. And I was like, oh, say what? So I watched like 5 minutes of it, and I was like, nope, I need to go back. I need to go back in time to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. What is happening?
All of these people on all of these Real Housewives shows
Wow.
have so many legal problems. I'm like, what are you doing? What kind of lives are you leading?
Where,
You
yeah.
know, all of you.
my-
You're constantly being like sued or,
Yeah.
you know, just all the time.
More money, more problems. That's
true.
what they say.
Yeah, but I would take a little bit more money for a little bit more problems.
Yeah.
Like, that seems all right.
Well, my boyfriend, Eric, has decided in the past few days to be obsessed with a brand new television show that I did not know existed.
Oh, no.
Called BattleBots.
Oh,
no.
no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah. So that has
Do you
been
have two
on
TVs?
pretty nonstop in our place for the past few. Just yelling and cheers for different robotic things attacking each other with flames and saws and different things. So it's
you have two
I
TVs,
love that
right?
journey for him.
Yeah.
Less for you, I feel.
So sorry.
That the two TVs, I was always one of those people who really didn't want a TV in the bedroom. Like, I didn't want a bunch of TV. I didn't want a TV in every room. If it was up to Anthony, we would have like a TV in every room, Yeah. And I definitely am not like that. I don't want TVs everywhere. But I will say, I was laying in my bed with cramps like all day yesterday. And it was nice to be able to lay in my bed and watch TV while Anthony watched soccer in the living room.
Perfect.
And just like be like, okay, we can just
live our separate lives.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so
you guys are going to stay together forever now.
Exactly, right? I don't have to just like pretend to be interested in soccer until I fall asleep on the couch anymore.
Yeah.
I've been watching Reckoning, which is a show on Netflix. And, it came up as like a suggested show for me because I'm always looking for like dark police procedural crime shows. And this one came up and I'm actually really enjoying it. Like the writing is good, not great.
Okay.
But it's basically about a serial killer. Right.
Nice.
And like his life as like a perfect family man who's also a serial killer. And then like the guy who's trying to find him, basically. And I think I've got like one episode left of it. So I love shows like that, especially on days like that when you're like, I just want to sit in bed and binge something.
Yes.
Because you want to see that mystery solved. Right.
Yeah.
So like I'm enjoying it.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, hey, if you guys have stuff that we should watch, stories that we should read out loud, or you just want to reach out and say hello, go to our one-stop shop of a website. It's myworstdatepodcast.com, and we love you so much. Cheers.
This is a Glass Box Media Podcast.